A very good Monday morning to each of you. Thank you so much for joining us again today on I Tune to Him. If you recall, last week we were in the book of Mark and talked about the Master of Miracles. There's so much information that we were unable to get to, so I thought we would just continue this week in our look at the book of Mark. And maybe you're watching today and you have a major need in your life. Maybe there's family problems. Maybe you're facing financial difficulty. Maybe there's an issue with a child. Maybe you've been diagnosed with a disease and you wonder what lies ahead. Maybe you're looking at your parents and realizing they're getting older. You know, I could go on and on and on. But when we face things like this, we need someone to help. Someone we can turn to. Maybe you don't need Him just to lift every burden, just the heaviest today. Maybe you don't need Him to move every mountain for you, just the highest one that you're facing. You don't need God to give you the whole loaf, so to speak, but just a crumb. That's what I want to talk to you for a few moments about this morning. Just a crumb will do. Our reading today is found in the Gospel of Mark, chapter number 7, beginning with verse 24. From there he arose and went to the region of Tyre and Sidon. And he entered a house and wanted no one to know it, but he could not be hidden. For a woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard about him, and she came and fell at his feet. The woman was a Greek, a Syrophoenician by birth, and she kept asking him to cast the demon out of her daughter. But Jesus said to her, "Let the children be filled first, for it is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs." And she answered and said to him, "Yes, Lord, yet even the little dogs under the table eat from the children's crumbs." Then he said to her, "For this saying, go your way. The demon has gone out of your daughter." And when she had come to her house, she found the demon gone out, and her daughter lying on the bed. So Jesus is approached by this mother who is in a desperate situation. She's just simply asking Him to move in her situation. She's facing several challenges, but she persists, and eventually she gets what she came for. First of all, she came with her request. See, she had heard of Him, the Scripture says. She had heard perhaps how He had healed all the manner of diseases. In fact, maybe she had heard about the demoniac that He had set free. And her faith was aroused in her heart. You know, I've heard of one today who can move your mountain, meet your need, and fulfill your hope. Just simply bring your request to Him right now. She not only came with her request, but secondly, she came with resolve. When she does not get the response she expected, she stays after Jesus until she gets what she wants. She does not let the obstacles in her path stop her. You know, there were several obstacles that she was facing, and time will not allow me to get into those today, but let's look at a couple real quickly. First of all, it was her race. Scripture says that she was a Canaanite woman. She came from a cursed people. Secondly, it was her religion. She had no right coming to the Jewish Messiah because, you see, she was a Gentile. And thirdly, she had the obstacle of rejection. He shows no interest in helping her. In fact, I believe it's the Gospel of Matthew that records that when she came to Him, He answered her not a word. Have you got any obstacles today? I want you to understand this morning, your faith will not be defined by what you receive from God, but by what it takes to stop you from getting to God. And you know what? If you come to Him and you have the resolve and the persistence, I believe you can see that barrier that is before you fall right before your eyes. Third and finally, she received her reward. You know, many of us would have given up. A crumb might be all she could get, but she knew a crumb from His hand would be enough. Jesus was amazed by the depth of her faith. In fact, in other places in the Scripture about this story, it is mentioned here that she is only one of two people that Jesus referred to as having great faith. Her faith was tested and had risen to the challenge. And Jesus rewarded her faith and healed her daughter. She took Him at His word and went home. And when she arrived, she found that her daughter was just like that He said, healed. A little crumb from the Lord's table might be all you need today. You can find it. Go to Him, because He is a God that is more than enough to meet your need. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to continue tomorrow in the Gospel of Mark. And until then, God bless each and every one of you, and we hope you have a very, very blessed day.